So we've got some huge news here on the WoW's dev blog, and it's something that honestly I think a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time, and that is a rework to plane detection. So how aircraft are capable of spotting your ship. So it's really important to realize that the spotting a carrier gives is faster than any other form of spotting. It's a form of spotting that can't really be avoided since they can just fly over islands, it can spot around islands since the planes are a little higher up. It's really only something you can avoid if you're in smoke. And what happens, of course, I'm sure you've all experienced this, I know I have, is when you're spotted in your destroyer approaching a cap or you're trying to cap and you instantly get shot at by basically the entire enemy team, right? I think we've all been there. And it's really frustrating because you feel like there wasn't really any risk of the carrier going in and spotting you, and you got hard countered and punished for it. So there's other examples, of course, but that's just one that comes to mind off the bat. So they're changing it so that you get spotted on the minimap for everyone, right? You're going to be displayed for the whole team on the minimap. However, only allies within a certain radius of the squadron that is detecting the enemy ship will see the actual model of the ship. So what that means is you'll be spotted on the map, much like a cyclone, right? You think about it, enemies are spotted on the map, but you only have that 8-kilometer view range in Cyclone, so you actually can't see the model of the ship on your main screen, and you can't really lock on, you can't aim at it, right? You can always blind fire with the minimap, but you can't lock on, right? So it's going to be difficult to actually hit that target. That appears to be what they're testing here. They're testing a way for plane squadrons to spot in a similar way. So there's obviously going to be a bunch of balancing tweaks around that, and depending on how far they allow these 3D models or the model of your ship to be spotted at, you could see some scenarios where you're actually going to be safe capping from certain objectives, just because the plane spotting won't actually get your ship fully detected to those across the map that could shoot you. So there's going to be opportunities for certain islands within caps to become safe spots that previously weren't. The other thing this is going to do is it's really going to cut down on that instant carrier blitz across the map at the beginning of the game, spot everything before they get to their islands, before they get to their positions, and then you get those long-range sniper battleships, Range Mod Slava, Yamato, Vermont, all those, you know what I'm talking about. And they take those pot shots and probably miss, let's be honest, but every once in a while, I'm sure you get hit pretty hard. I know I have a couple times. So that should cut down on that as well. You're going to know still where the enemy ships are going. You're still going to get that early information, which I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of, but the important thing is it's really going to cut down on the power of the carrier spotting. It'll give you the information of where a ship is, which is quite powerful still, don't get me wrong, but it's going to cut down on that massive firepower that comes with that spotting. So it makes carriers a little bit less oppressive to deal with, and hopefully it's going to result in some more interesting games where you're capable of pushing. Maybe some more islands become a little safer. I hope that it results in, well, for wargaming's sake, I guess, I hope it results in carriers still being as efficient as they are, since this is apparently the efficiency level that carriers need to be at. So I hope this change goes through and doesn't affect that, because I would really hate to see carriers get buffed in some way after this change, because this, to me, seems like a great change. I really like this. I'd love to see it be maybe close to that 8-kilometer, 9-kilometer range around the squadron spotting a ship, if I had to put a number on it, right? Because the aircraft has 10-kilometer, 11-kilometer spotting. I actually don't know the exact number that a carrier plane can spot at, but let's say that's the same range that they can transmit the 3D model of the ship at. Could be interesting. It'll certainly cut down on those cross shots. And I'm really hoping that this goes through. Of course, it is a closed test. Just to be clear, this is not on the public test server. This is not going into the game anytime soon. This is something that is a concept, and it's going to be tested internally. So probably gotta wait until quite a ways into next year, into 2022, to potentially even see this, even if, and that's assuming that it actually passes. So we'll see, but it's promising, and it shows that the devs are looking into some of the more frustrating, annoying mechanics in the game and looking to change them so that players can have more fun in their matches. So I really like that change, or the proposition of a change, I should say. And we should also talk just a little bit before I go about update 10.11. Of course, this brings the Christmas Santa gift containers, and we all know how these have gone over the years. Definitely have been a source of controversy given the way some of these ships are dropped. So it looks like Wargaming is sticking to their word, and they are telling us all these drop rates, and we're getting them straight up. So I would assume eventually you're going to see a post on Reddit or on the forums where somebody's gone in and done all the math and told you the most efficient container to get. We don't know the prices yet, so it'll be interesting to see what the most efficient crates are, so those of you looking to purchase a crate can get your money's worth, hopefully. We are seeing, though, that there are different lists. So that was a bit of controversy that there was a hidden shortlist, I guess you'd say, a couple years ago. Maybe that was last year's with the Makarov, right? You guys remember that? There was like 3 or 4 ships that you had to get first before you even had access to the other ships. And that's not quite the case. It's more of a soft list, I would say, given that tier 5 to 7 premium ships are going to drop around 2% of the time out of the 2.5% of the time, right? Consider that in a normal Santa gift container, you get 2.5% of the time you're going to get a ship drop. And of that 2.5%, most of them are going to be tier 5 to tier 7. So you're very unlikely to get tier 8 and 9, and extremely unlikely to get the tier 10 and rare ships. I'll show you the rare ship list at the end. There are some lower tier ships on those rare ship lists, so that's probably going to be the ones you want. And just like usual, it's going to be pretty much saved for the people who have all the premium ships already, and the container is forced to give you these when a ship drops because you have all of the tier 5 and 7, 8, 9 ships that aren't on the rare list. It's interesting to see all the other things broken down here, right? See all the camos and different types of the main rewards, right? Of course, the signals are going to be your primary reward from these containers, so don't expect to get a ship all the time. Now, if we look towards the bottom of this post, we can see that there will be a guaranteed drop mechanic applied. It's going to take a lot of containers. 99 of the regular Santa's gift containers. But as you get to the bigger ones, you get down to 26 and 14. So I would expect the Santa's gift containers to be very cheap. And the big gift, mega gift are definitely going to be the more expensive. And probably significantly more expensive given the ratios between 99 and 26, 99 and 14. Now, looking at the rare and tier 10 ships, of course, we're going to see all the tier 10s on here, right? You can still get some of these ships that have been removed. Of course, the Thunderer, looking at things like Smallland. It's really unlikely you're going to get these unless you have all of these other ones, right? Here's your most common list down here. That's a lot of ships that you have to already have. That's going to be your primary reward, even if you get a ship drop. Of course, the tier 8 and 9 ships aren't going to drop all that often either, and yet there's still a lot of them. And of course, I think most people are going to be trying for ships in this list. You're going to see ships like Belfast. You're going to see ships like Kutuzov. That one has been out for a long time. Lenin, more recently, Massachusetts, a little further back, was removed. Enterprise, one of the better tier 8 carriers. This thing is kind of insane. It was removed a while ago. Kind of, what was that? Less than a year into the CV rework? Maybe it was a little longer than that. I don't actually know the time frame. We got ourselves Alaska, of course. I'm hoping you guys picked that up if you wanted an Alaska from Black Friday, since, well, I think the guaranteed reward of an Alaska for $60, $70 is a little better than a random chance bundle, right? So Venom, a ship that's been out for a very, very, very long time. And I think probably the most interesting thing about all of this is that there's no Puerto Rico. Right? Like, there's ships like Missouri, there's ships there's ships Musashi, there's ships that people have wanted for a very long time. And yet the original dockyard ship that supposedly was going to be available in the future for people to get for alternate resources than that stupid horrific grind that they put out still hasn't shown up. Not even in the rare drop containers, which are very rarely going to drop. So interesting things. Always take what Wargaming says with a grain of salt, of course. So now that is going to be the Santa crates. And really the biggest thing is this spotting change. I think the detection by planes is the biggest change and the biggest thing I wanted to talk about in this video. I think it's going to be really cool, but let me know what you think. Maybe there's something I haven't considered, and maybe it's going to be game breaking in some other way. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.